Okay, so I'm told Andrea's here so we can get started. First off, my name is Tim Johnson. I'm manager with Community Futures North Central Development, one of the community futures here in Manitoba, and the community futures in Manitoba that's very proud to have our client, Don, Shorty, stand up. No one can figure it out. Glenn as one of our clients, and we're here today to celebrate his achievements and hear his story. Because I always say everyone has a story. I started to get to know Shorty's story last year as a client and then through last year's program. And what he did in getting the award last year for startup, I believe. Yeah, startup. And as an ambassador for Thompson, for entrepreneurs, and for the Elevate program over the last year is absolutely fantastic. So that's what we're going to talk a little bit more about. We've got lots of people here to help us. I want to recognize a few people from our organization, Community Futures North Central Development. At the very back, we've got Chief Marcel Moody, who is our vice chair. And we've got Penny Byer, who is the representative for the City of Thompson on Community Futures. We've got the alternate from the City of Thompson, Colleen Smook. And we've got Brenda Davidson, who's very important because she does it purely as a volunteer. And she's the chair of our Community Development Committee. So Brenda, thanks for coming. So I also want to acknowledge, because I get in big trouble, man, I'm very cautious because I know that camera's on, because I probably would have said something else. But I want to acknowledge our staff. We've got Dennis Green, who is our Business Development Officer that's been working with Shorty for the last year or so. We've got Charlene Grant, who is our Community Development Officer. Charlene Kissick, right? Did you get married? Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, some things remain the same in Thompson for a long time. And your name is? Tammy Burton, who is Administrative Officer with the Community Futures North Central Development. So, happy to see everyone here. We've got a bit of a program because there's a lot of different organizations that want to recognize the achievement that we're going to talk a little bit about today. So, I talked about what we're here to celebrate, and I think that's entrepreneurship. And the first person that I have presenting, and he's got a stand-in, but is someone who I know is very, very keen and supportive on establishing and growing entrepreneurship in Thompson and Northern Manitoba. He's our own MLA, Kelly Bindle, who is an entrepreneur as well as the MLA. And today we've got Stacy Martin standing in for Kelly to make a presentation for an award from the Darlene Dolinsky Services Business Broker and Management Advisor. And I'm going to leave the rest up to you, Stacy. Thank you.
Yeah, kids are awesome.
Gotta be a dad first.
Always, always. I've had the pleasure of knowing Don for a very long time when you first came to Thompson, actually. So I'm really proud to be part of this, to kind of watch you kind of grow within the community. I am here on behalf of Kelly Bindle to do some presentations, which I'm very honored to do today. So what we're going to start off with first is your certificate award for this Watch Me Now, Just Watch Me contest for Darlene Dolinsky. So you've got some service systems, marketing review, product, business exit strategy, which you are not going to exit. You're going to stay in here in the community forever. But it's really a great honor that you get to be able to learn from someone who's done it and to learn some more tips, and you've worked really well with other people regarding that. So I'm going to present you with this.
Thank you.
Kelly was big and strong in supporting your campaign for this Just Watch Me Now video, and so he was always nudging me going, make sure you vote, make sure you vote. I'm like, I did. Also, you were in Winnipeg at the Ledge on April 10th with your family and stuff, and so here's the private member statement that he had done, and he wanted you to be able to give that to you. So,
thank you.
Yeah, it's really exciting.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Actually, you don't get to talk yet, because there's a whole bunch of other people that want to talk a little bit. I'm going to throw a few things in about what this is all about. So, the Elevate program is a part of the Community Futures Network programming designed to support the Entrepreneurs with Disability program that we have. And has a contest, a Just Watch Me contest. And what it requires is that entrepreneurs put together a video of their business. Now, this year's contest, you could do that with the video that was submitted. Don was pretty amazing. He didn't do one video. He sort of did a variety of videos leading right up to the end. And that's why I say he's an ambassador for the program. He's last year's winner of Startup. This year, they're calling you seasoned. Yeah. I'm not sure what seasoned.
It means
if
I
that's
smell worse.
Yeah, could be. So I guess it's a move forward. So the huge in terms of staying with that program, and I'm told the way it worked, and Stacy mentioned it, it was all done on votes. And so people were encouraged to vote. And we still believe we could have got a few more, and he certainly deserved more, because what he did versus some of the other applicants was just amazing with the video. So that's a little bit of a background. I want to acknowledge we're joined by former councillor Stella Locker as well, who has always been a huge supporter of entrepreneurship and small business in this community. So welcome, Stella. I'm going to call the newer version of the City Council, Deputy Mayor Colleen Smook, to make the next presentation. Colleen.
So now I don't know where he gets his name Shorty from. Anyway, on behalf of Mayor Fensky, all my fellow councillors, and the City of Thompson, this is absolutely a great day. It's one more project, and I'd just like to recognize that we're on Treaty 5, Nitchissawaysick, Cree Nation land and home of the Métis. So it's one more big project that just brings us all together, and I'd like to thank you. Just want to say a few things. I've been following Shorty for a couple years also, and just so enthralled. To me, this is the things that Thompson needs, is these new businesses, new startups. I can remember when the City of Thompson sold me McCready Campground for a nominal fee because they wanted to get rid of it, and we were able to build it into quite a nice campground now. So this, where he's going, is phenomenal. And just to say a little bit about the voting, when he was way ahead at 43, 44, and I got everybody out to vote, my daughter made the comment, well, he's way ahead, why vote? I said, it's easier to stay ahead than play catch up. And we did play catch up that last day or two, but 1%, folks, it was the difference. So he's done an absolutely phenomenal job. Look around you, the materials here and the other things he does are just great. So on behalf of Community Futures, I get to present the crowdfunding certificate.
Thank you.
So what it's a portal for the stage for entrepreneurs to put a spotlight on their business, startup, or expansion project. The portal is not a source of financing, but a venue that entrepreneurs can use to ask networks to contribute to their projects. So thank you, and on behalf of the City of Thompson, we'll be getting you there to present you with a certificate also.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, Colleen, much appreciated. And just to let people know, Shorty was the only Elevate applicant in the contest from Northern Manitoba. So again, thanks for representing Northern Manitoba. He was one of 25 from Manitoba and Saskatchewan, and even though we didn't get first place by their standards, he finished second overall in the voting and certainly represented us extremely well as #1 in Northern Manitoba. So Shorty, thanks. The next one, and I understand another former councillor, but now the General Manager of Community Economic Development Fund, Oswald Saw, has joined us as well, who CEDF has been a big supporter of Shorty as well and over the years. So the next one I'm going to call Chief Marcel Moody from NCN and the Vice Chair of Community Futures North Central Development to make the big presentation. Marcel.
Well, I'm glad I could be here this afternoon. You know, I've never seen this place. I've never heard of this place other than the bits of information I've been able to get through my position as a member of the North Central Development Committee. It's a hidden gem, absolutely. I think the work that's been done here is phenomenal, and it's so wonderful to see. We need to be more creative and open up more business like this as we head into a next few years without the Valley and Inco. So I'm really proud to be part of this whole process, and it's so phenomenal to see all these things being created by yourself, and it's such a wonderful to see, and I think there's a little bit more marketing that needs to be done to promote your products, but certainly, I mean, I think, the items that you build here, the things you've created, I mean, they're phenomenal, and I don't think you'll have a problem selling these products, and you do, custom things as well. You can custom, make things based on what the customers want, and so on behalf of our nation, Ancestry Cree Nation, I'd like to acknowledge your accomplishment. I mean, it's phenomenal. It's so wonderful to see, so heartwarming to see. And on behalf of the North Central Development Corporation, I'd like to present you with a certificate acknowledging your huge accomplishment. And we also have a check here for $750 on behalf of the North Central Development Committee.
Thank you.
So good luck, and you'll do well.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Marcel. And two things. One is, these are all prizes for the coming year, but last year, Shorty won a whole bunch of things as well, some of which have helped him to grow as an entrepreneur. More importantly, he was invited to a lot of events to get the message out. Last year in May, you were down at Vision Quest, and
That was part of why we did it this year too, is because to kind of give back a little bit, because it was a huge boost for us. And to encourage other people with disabilities to go out and take this step. And it made such a huge difference for us. To be able to pass that message on to other people was very important, and that was kind of one of the reasons why we entered in the first place.
now, did you catch the key word there? He talked about we. It's not just Shorty, Andrea, and the family. And when you hear a little bit more about the story, you'll understand what the motivators and the drivers behind Don are. And family is everything, as he made a comment, so excellent. The next one to come up, Penny Byer, again, City of Thompson representative for Community Futures North Central Development. Come on up, Penny.
Hello again.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. So the first time I met this man was last year, when we were handing out certificates for your accomplishment last year. And since then, every time I bump into him, I continue to be impressed and amazed, not just by Don/Shorty, but by his family too. The support and is just awesome, and how they work together. The creativity, what you see around the room, is one half of the creativity. The videos they've done, and now I understand I've got to go to YouTube because they've got a YouTube started.
Yeah.
It just continues to grow, and I think that's awesome that they've been able to turn a disability, a disadvantage, into a wonderful advantage, and it's a family advantage too, so that's phenomenal. My job actually is not to tell you how wonderful they are, because I think you're getting a sense of that, but actually to give you your certificate of completion for the Elevate program. Now, completion doesn't mean that you're left without any help, because Community Futures North Central Development will continue to be there for you. I also have a gift card for you
Thank you.
from us as well. For those of you who don't know what the Elevate program is, it's an initiative that's delivered by Community Futures North Central Development to help people with an illness or a disability who are no longer able to work at a job, because when you work at a job, they like you to be there from 8 to 5 or 6 to 10 or whatever it is. And some people, and if you know Don's story, which you may share yet today, you'll understand that he just couldn't do that any longer. And without a job, how do you feed a growing family? Pretty darn difficult. So that's what the Elevate program is to help people who are in that situation become self-employed. So the kind of support that's there, yes, there's some financial support, there's business support, mentoring, could be travel assistance, could be childcare, which would be very important for you, okay? So that's how we tend to try to help people. And the interesting thing is, Shorty is our only Elevate participant and our only Elevate, obviously, graduate. So if you know of anybody who might be in a similar situation, please have them talk first to Shorty, because he can firsthand tell them the benefits of this, and then send them over to the North Central Development Office. So thank you very much for the inspiration that you provide to all of us.
Thank you, Penny.
Okay, bye.
Thank you, Penny. And We're not done yet. And we are going to get to the story, because it's a story that is amazing, and you have to hear it right from Shorty himself. But the next presenter we have is from the Thompson Chamber of Commerce, and you know, we've been around the chamber. Oz is a former president, Penny's a former president. There's lots of people that have been involved. We've always talked about how do you encourage people to get into business, and then how do you support them. And Penny just talked about the program, and that's really what it's about, encouraging people to look at business as an option, and then giving them the supports. And supports aren't always money. Supports are a strong community and a community structure that supports entrepreneurship, buys local, recycles local, and supports each other. So Raj Teti is president of the Thompson Chamber of Commerce, entrepreneur himself. So Raj, come on up. Thanks.
As you know, we are an organization that supports entrepreneurs. And I met Shorty 2 years ago, prior to the Look North focus group. And we were really, really impressed with what he had done. And I've sort of got him on the hook that I want him to come and build some stools for me. So that is still a project that's on hold. But
I have order forms right over there.
Shorty's done an amazing job. He's the true spirit of an entrepreneur. What he's achieved, despite being down, you know, he's lifted himself up, and he's created something very, very unique, like Chief Moody had just alluded to. And this is a hidden gem. Shorty, on the Manitoba Chambers of Commerce will feature your video in a magazine, MBiz, which is coming up in spring of 2018. They're doing it in conjunction with the Winnipeg Free Press. So that's going to reach over 100,000 people. So you're our ambassador, and whenever people read about you, they'll read about us, about Thompson. And on behalf of the Manitoba Chambers of Commerce, I'd like to present you this certificate. And we're looking forward to reading the Free Press.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thanks, Raj. So what's really neat about today is you've got all different organizations coming forward from different parts of the community, all showing the support. And I think that that's the critical ingredient in terms of supporting, nurturing, mentoring in cases, entrepreneurs to move them to the next level. But it also takes a commitment from staff. And there's two people, Shorty, that I think have been absolutely instrumental. I want to acknowledge Leanne Brown, who's not here right now, but Leanne was with North Central and really was a bit of the start, and now is over at CDF. And then Dennis Green, who is our current business development officer. And Dennis, I don't know, you probably want to come forward and say a few words, and if you didn't, you are. So come on up.
If I gotta be here, you gotta be here.
I'd be happy to do this, Shorty.
Thanks, Tim.
Congratulations, Shorty. You've got a lot of support from us and a lot of support from your community, and you deserve it. You are number one, buddy. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Dennis.
Good job, Dennis. So, look, there's a video playing in the back. You've got to go see the videos from the Elevate program that were posted this year.
We've got them actually, we've got a YouTube video, or a YouTube channel we started. And don't forget to like and subscribe. But you can watch all the videos along the way on the YouTube channel. They're all there, so.
Most importantly, the best person to hear the story from is Shorty himself. So Shorty, I'm going to turn it over to you. Congratulations. You deserve it. Thank you for making Thompson, North Central, and North Manitoba look absolutely great. You're a fine ambassador. Thank you. Thanks. Go ahead.
Okay, for anybody that knows me, I'm a bit of an emotional guy, so I'll apologize in advance because this is kind of overwhelming.
First of all, I gotta say thank you to Andrea. She holds me together. We've been through a lot the last couple years. Thanks. We have 3 beautiful kids, and probably the original reason why this all started was to help provide for my family. I was a mechanic for 16 years. Most people here know this story, but I was put off because I developed a skin condition that didn't allow me to work any longer. And it took them a while to figure out what was actually going on. So there was a lot of uncertainty in our life. And support financially was hard to get because nobody really knew what was going on. So we went from having a full-time job to trying to figure out what to do next. I found myself sitting on the couch looking at my kids and wondering how I was going to provide for them. I got very depressed and got to the point where I was questioning my own worth and value as a person and a father. And what I had to give to my family and my community, and what was the mark I wanted to leave? What did I want to pass on to my kids? What was my legacy? I didn't want to be on the couch. So, we were in the process of renovating the house at the time and didn't have any money. So, we had a little boy who was starting to get increasingly active. And so out of necessity, I had to start finishing off some of the renovations and to just try and get myself moving again. So I looked around and used what I had at hand. I built a vanity out of some of my old fence, and there was, I think, a Chevy taillight in it, and a Pepsi can, and some brake line, and various other components that I could get together. And my family came to visit, and my brother said to me, he said, "Why aren't you selling this to people?" And at the time I was in a really dark place, and I had trouble seeing it. And then me and Andrea had a dispute one day, and I went out to the garage, and I had an old metal bunk bed frame, and out of frustration I just started welding, and I came up with a pot rack that hangs in the kitchen in our house. That's my son. That's the active one. And so it just slowly blossomed from there, and I found that it was therapeutic for me to be working with my hands, and I have a fairly active imagination, as you can see, and to be in a state of depression for somebody with a fairly active mind can be a really fast downward spiral. And so to keep my hands busy, I went to Community Futures as we looked around town to see what was available. And we went to Community Futures North Central Development, and we were a couple months, I think, ahead of the Elevate program. They had just started to hear about it. And we started the process, and Leanne helped us write up the business plan, and we were the first ones into the Elevate program. So first ones in, first ones out. I guess that's good. So I guess I didn't fail the grade. But I want to touch on something too that not a lot of people know. But I feel very strongly. I have, my family has a really, a bit of a history with mental illness. And part of my business is I go around to various businesses in town have been really good in supporting us. And as far as raw materials go, I have pretty much an unlimited access to raw materials. But I would go around late at night because I didn't want to interfere with their operation of their business and whatever. And I remember one night in January, I was out doing my collections, and my skin had been really bad. And it's like when you're out in the bush, for anybody that's been in the bush, and you got to the point where the bugs were so bad, you felt like you were just going to lose your mind, and you just wanted to break out into a full run to get away from it. And at any given time, I would have half a dozen spots on my body that were itching, and you're trying to put that out of your mind, and it's mentally exhausting to try and block that out. And I remember pulling onto the bridge in January, and I remember at 2 in the morning, and I remember thinking, if I jumped in, the cold would take the itching away, and my family'd never have to find the body. So this for me is more than just a business. And the Elevate program is more than just what you see. The Elevate program is a lifeline for people to build their life when it seems like it's completely out of control and you have nowhere to turn. I didn't tell very many people about that, but I think that's part of the problem with that issue is nobody wants to talk about it. I sat there that night and I thought to myself, is this the legacy I want to leave for my kids? Because if I take the leap, it makes it easier for them. And I'm not going to be the one that gives them that card to take the leap. So we're trying to build something that's worth passing on. The Just Watch Me contest is about passing the message that it isn't hopeless. That there are people willing to help you. And the message too also is that when I needed it, Community Futures was there for me, the Elevate program was there for me, and this community was here for me. So that was why I did the campaign trail videos from Winnipeg to Thompson. Because this is my home. And I wanted people to see where we're from and what we represent and what the Elevate program represents. And I want other people with limitations and disabilities to be able to take control of certain parts of their life when everything in their life seems like it's out of their control. I had some customers and people on social media when we were going through the contest who would say to me, it's just a popularity contest. It's just about, getting votes. What does the Just Watch Me contest mean? What's it about? What is it, like, why do we do what we do? Why did we put this video in there? Yes, it's marketing for the business. Yes, it's helped us out. But I did it because it's what I want my business to represent. And it's what I want people who need something to motivate them to get off the couch and not go to the bridge, but go somewhere where they can get help to build their life back, to build their own happiness. I put in my video that it was kind of an accident. I said it last year, and then, but over the course of the year, it's kind of stuck with me. The first year I said, you know, picture yourself in 5 years as your own hero, and then set your goals to be that hero in 5 years. If you ask somebody to sit down and draw their own, just draw a hero. I don't want you to draw a cartoon character or a comic book hero. Draw a real person. Draw yourself and what you want to be. Because there are people out there and programs that'll help you get there. And there's people in this community that believe in people like me, who don't have much to give but a lot of imagination. But that being said, this part of it is a huge bonus to us. Last year we won the startup division, and that was a huge boost for our business as far as marketing goes, and just getting the word out about it. And I wanted to participate again this year, but more to give back as awareness to other people. And the fact that we made it this far gives us the platform to say that and to pass on what the point was. The awards, the certificates, the money, it helps, but that's not the point. Okay? The point is the people. So that's pretty much all I got to say about that.
That's the story. Isn't that amazing? Last year, after the presentation, I said, there's no greater motivator for our staff to go to work every day in what we do to help entrepreneurs. There should be no greater motivation for the community to support people like Shorty, not just for his business, but as a person, because that's what always shines through who you are. And your family is incredibly fortunate and lucky to have you, as we are in Thompson in northern Manitoba. So Shorty, I can only say thank you and keep going. Thank you very much. Keith Buraks joined us from Tatasquak Cree Nation. He's a representative on our board. That's it. Thank everyone for coming. Come on up, talk to Shorty a little bit, buy something, have some food, and thank you all for coming out. Thanks.